here at your service. Have you ever had a button fall off a flannel or your pants with no one to turn to? A button so gosh darn ding and loose that it could fall off any day now? Well, if so, guess what? Fear not, because I'm gonna teach you today how to fix your existential button crisis. Yeah, you heard me right. You, yourself, are gonna fix your existential button crisis. I'm Gracie Parker, and you're watching Sewing with Gracie. We're gonna learn how to fix two different kinds of button whoopsies. The first uh-oh spaghetti-o is when you need a completely new button because yours is either broken or just not there anymore. The second oh no cookie dough is when the string that attaches the button to your fabric is droopy and literally hanging by a thread. So, listen up, young whippersnappers. We're going to start with whoopsie number 1. Here's what you'll need. Your button, a sewing needle, scissors to cut the thread, a foot of thread that matches or closely resembles either the fabric or the thread sewn to the other buttons. Use sewing thread for a normal-sized button and embroidery thread for a larger button or for very thick fabric such as a coat or jeans. And last but not least, your beautiful hands and fingers. If your button is broken but still attached, take some scissors and cut that thing loose. Then, pull out any lingering thread that might still be there. Now, you've got to sew on your replacement button. But first, let's get the thread we're using onto the needle. Take your thread and string one end through the eye of the needle like so. Then, tie a knot where the two loose ends meet. Make a teeny stitch only through the first layer of fabric so it doesn't come through the right side of your item and pull it tight. Now do the same thing right next to the stitch that you just made, except this time, before you pull it tight, weave the needle through the loop. This is how you secure your string so it won't come out. Poke the needle through one of the button's holes on the right side and locate the exact point it comes through at the back. Take your needle out and enter it from the back side on that same reference spot, and then pull it through the hole on the button. My button has 2 holes, so weave the needle back through the second hole and pull tight. Repeat this process until the button is secure. Once you've successfully secured your new button, do the same thing we did to secure the thread at the beginning of our sewing adventure. Stitch through the first layer from the back side, pull, repeat the stitch but not before looping the needle through the hole the second time. Take your scissors and snip away the extra thread and voila, you're done. Alright, sewers in the making, now for whoopsie number 2. Let's tighten up this loosey-goosey button so it's nice and firm. For this step, you'll need the same materials minus the button. Secure the thread in the same manner as we did in whoopsie number 1. Then, as we also did in whoopsie number 1, stick the needle through the backside of the fabric into the hole and thread it through. Once you're done, secure the string on the backside and snip away that extra thread. And yippity-doo-dah-day, you just learned how to be your own, or even better, someone else's button hero. Thank you folks for joining me on this DIY tutorial on how to fix your button problems. If you haven't already, don't forget to like the video and subscribe, and so we can have more of a blast learning together. I am Gracie Parker, and you're watching Sewing with Gracie.